Thank you for joining back in the 2 pennies, the 2 cents, my podcast. I'm Nino. Please, everybody, click that like button. Keep them subscriptions coming. I appreciate you. To my fans, my audience, and my listeners, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say, everybody, I'm hoping you're having a great weekend. You're having fun. I know the weekend is coming to a close, and it's almost time to get back on that workload, getting back to that bag, getting back to that money, putting in them hours, clocking in, hitting that time clock. But I'm hoping everybody's having a good weekend, and that's what's up. I got another one that was thrown at me, but I'm loving it, man. Again, my audience, I appreciate all the topics you give. I appreciate the negative comments. I appreciate the positive comments. Transformation, promiscuous woman to a housewife, Playa to a husband. Transformation, promiscuous woman to a housewife, a player to a husband. A promiscuous woman transitioning to a housewife, a player transitioning to a husband requires significant and personal relational overhaul. While promiscuous can be loaded with negative connotations, the focus is on switching of the gears in behavior, commitment, and what to look within the relationship. The overall touches a change in daily life priorities, how individuals approach intimacy and relationships. First, I'm going to delve off into the promiscuous woman into a housewife. Shifting values and priorities. Women moving toward or transitioning to a housewife category undergoes a shift in her priorities, going from a deeper connection on her social and her self-freedom to locked in on her family and domestic life. Well, obviously, this is what you said. Because a promiscuous woman is like wide open, come as you are. She has many people in her social life. Bringing all newcomers, And, of course, she is chilling. She is still with her self-freedom because she's able to go, roam, go out through the land as she feels. Because for one thing, she's independent, but her promiscuity, or her being promiscuous, is like she have choices. She can holler at this guy, she can holler at this guy, she can delve off into this relationship, she can tamper with this relationship. She can have friendships that maybe it might start to a relationship, and so on. Concerned to now, if she's becoming, if she's trying to transition into a housewife, now she's total locked in, and now she's barking up a different tree because now she has a family, and she has a domestic life. She can't just roam the land free. She have others that are looking up to her, that are counting on her. She has agendas because now she has a family, she has a husband, basically kids, She has to maybe go to the grocery store. If she's a stay-home wife, she has to take care of the home. Whether if she's with a man and now she's a wife, they work together. See, it's more independent. Now it's a twosome, it's a tandem. So obviously she has to get herself together, but her lifestyle is going to take a jolt. It's going to take, the needle is going to move a certain different way now. Because again, she went from promiscuous to now a housewife. And you have to change. Things get juggled. So of course that's going to happen. Commitment and trust. A woman stepping off into a long-term commitment, such as marriage, requirement, a basic shift in her approach to relationships, including unfoldment or development, trust, loyalty, commitment to a single partner. But see, when she was promiscuous, she was with many partners. A lot of times, You know, they was having maybe sexual relations. So probably she wasn't totally, wholly, fully believing in, well, she can trust this person or she can trust this person because she's with a number of different people. So how can you gain trust when you with this guy one day and then maybe the next week you with this other guy? That's a lot of personalities that you're coming up against. Now all of that stopped, and she done singled it down to one person, which now shows commitment, trust, and loyalty to that single partner, because now it's about her and that single partner that she's with, because they are married. They are building something together. You know, you taking two and they're becoming something like a unit. They're becoming unilateral. So now they have to, you know, she has to have trust. She has to have commitment. And think about this. When she was promiscuous, a lot of times people, the guys she was dealing with, probably, you know, shot her short of trust. They probably deceived her a couple of times, not deceptive like bad, but, you know, oftentimes they lied to her because she was just in it really to kick it with, you know, a hookup or something like that. Now she's with a husband and she's a housewife. She has more on her plate, you know. So now trust, commitment, and loyalty comes in a big way, because if you don't have that, it's no use to even getting married. That's one of the big threes, along with more other characteristics that deals with when you getting married. So of course, them three gonna come in, and it's many more. Adapting to a new role, turning into a housewife involves learning new skills or becoming more comfortable, such as homemaking, childcare, shuffling around correctly a household. This woman now has to deal with being a homemaker. She might not even know how to cook. She's gonna have to learn how to cook. If she have kids, she might not have kids right now, but sooner or later when you're married, you're gonna have additions to your family, or maybe an addition to your family. So now she's gonna become a mother soon. That all is something different that she's not used to. So now she's gonna have to adjust, get used to that. And shuffling around a household correctly. You know, don't say the dad is the provider, and say that she is a stay-home mom. The dad goes out and provides. He's, of course, he leads the family. He calls all the shots. But if the mom is a stay-home mom and she's a stay-home wife, she calls all the shots at the house. She keeps up with the house, you know, as far as the food. Again, when the kids come to play, she has to get the kids to school, get them up, pick them up from school, take care of their after-school activities if they have, certain things like that. So again, that takes a change in her life. A homemaker, again, mostly women can cook, but you won't believe about how a lot of women, they can cook, but they don't cook. But a lot of women just can't cook because it had never became a big thing in their life or growing up. So now she may have to learn how to cook. Again, new adjustments. Going from promiscuous to now she's a wife. Again, more adjustments. Leaving the past in the past. The turning over of a new leaf may need addressing past behaviors and beliefs associated with being promiscuous. Create new boundaries and expectations within the marriage. Well, again, she still has to get used to being a housewife, because for most of her time, she has been independent and promiscuous. She has had probably, you know, a few partners that she done had sexual intercourse with. She has had a few partners that she done had in her body count. So again, it's hard just to knock that and just to shake that off right then and there. Just like an alcoholic. It's so hard to go cold turkey when you've been drinking all your life. You can't just stop automatically. And if you do, you still have them thoughts. So possibly, maybe by her becoming a housewife, you know, it has to take a little time. The husband's going to have to give her a little leeway. Give her a little room, you know, so she can kind of come into her own with this new way of her living. Because again, she had been independent, having possibly multiple partners. And I'm saying the woman probably practiced safe sex. I'm not saying nothing wrong with this. This is not what we're discussing about how many partners she having. We're just saying she went promiscuous to now she's a housewife. So it's going to take a change like anything else. You just don't turn over that new leaf right then and there and everything goes smooth. It takes time. It takes time with anything else. Adjustment to adjustment. Now, I'm going to jump off into the man. Playa to a husband. First, commitment and stability. Playa to a husband. Now, a man or male has to do away with his little black book. And you know, fella, I'm talking about his little black book. His little black book of all the hookups. He got to get away with that first. Because every man has in his phone or somewhere around that he has a few women, if he's not adding to the stable, that he can go and kick it with for hookups. So now he has to get out of that because that's now over. Because now, again, he's stepping out playing and he's stepping into becoming a husband. Stepping out of casual interactions. Stepping into a long-term monogamous commitment. Stepping out of casual interactions and stepping into a long-term monogamous commitment. Now, you think that don't take a little bit for that dude? You know, he Playa. You know, he cool with the women coming by chilling. You know, kicking it, having a one-night stand. They going by their business. He going by his business. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times relationships are cool like that because there's no attachments. You know, it ain't no strings attached. We gonna come by and kick it. We do what we do. You know, we might mix it up in the bedroom, and then you going by your business for the male. She going by her business for the female. It's cool like that. But now all that's changed because now it's him becoming the husband. Only person that he's gonna be in a deep relationship where it's mental, physical, personal, even sexual is now his wife. That little black book gotta go. You know, pass it on to somebody else. Pass it on to your single homeboy. Pass it on to somebody. But now you got to get rid of that little black book because you are, you know, you going down a new avenue, if you dig what I'm saying. Developing emotional maturity. The shift may involve addressing issues of emotional maturity or mental strength. Knowing there's a need for a partner constructing deeper connections. Well, yeah, because you're getting tired of that. Because, you know, let's keep it a buck. When you're a player to a player or you're a promiscuous woman, you're not, you know, it's no deep connection. You know, it's straight up, I'm in it for what I can get out of it. And the others in it for what they can get out of it. You know, it's just straight up, meet, greet, hook up, do the thing and go on. It's not no deep connection. You're not in it to see what we have in common. What do we like? You know, what do we like to do? What is our future together? Well, how you see yourself in 5 years? Or how does she see herself in 5 years? You talk a little bit, but you're a player. So, you know, you like, well, I'm with this woman Monday night, and then maybe Thursday night I'm with this next woman. Sunday night I'm with this other woman because I'm a player. And they cool with that. But, you know, it's no deep connection. And even if one of the women will start taking a liking to you, it just ain't going to happen because you have told her, you know, I'm a player, you know. I just want to keep a player. I'm not in here to get close. I'm not looking for no deep connection. So you're trying to build a deep connection. That's again when you're becoming a husband because building a deep connection meaning you're going to be solid. We're going to be here for a minute. We're trying to construct and build something for the long term, eternity. We're going to be married. We're trying to live and grow old together, if you dig what I'm saying. Commitment to a family. Now your husband consists of being held accountable for family well-being, financial obligations, parenthood, and relaying emotional support. Well, you're the leader of the family. Now you're a husband. You know, you basically call the shots. You know, your wife is gonna have the input, but you're the provider. You take care of everything. You know, you look after the family. You the big rock. You know, you the therapist. You know, you the counselor in so many ways. That first, your wife and your kids gonna come through. Plus, you have to take care of them financially. You know, you have to provide for them. And you have to give them mental support. They might need a pat on the back. They might need a talking to, whether it's the woman, your new wife, and if y'all got some kids, they gonna come to dad, whether male or female. Male gonna come, let me go out at pops. Female gonna like, let me go talk to daddy, you know. But now you're not no player no more. You're a husband. See, that hat is gone. You how can I say that? You deleted one hat and then you picked up 3 or 4 more hats. You dig what I'm saying? So that's your new title now, because now you're a man of many talents now, and you're gonna have to display them because you got a family. Trust and loyalty, honor and commitment in a marriage is monumental for a successful shift. Definitely, it's a must with open communication, devotion, and relationship. Yes, you have to do that because you got to be able to talk and communicate with each other. Get everything out. I'm pretty sure, just like a promiscuous woman going into being a wife, when you with your partner, they want to know everything. They want to know the old you, whether good or bad, because that's how it builds. I don't think they're going to criticize you or penalize you for being there, because they know what you used to be until what you are coming into being. You know what I'm saying? So they have to give you, you know, they can't be tripping too hard. They can't be real critical of you, because you are making a change, just like a player to a husband. Leave it all out on the table. Don't hold nothing back. Don't hold nothing back. A lot of people would rather know what your past was, where it's good or bad, and it can be bad, and we can improve it and work on it and get it better than lying and not being truthful about what you used to be, because now you are committed in a solid marriage. It's just not about you. It's about your wife, your kids. It's about your lifestyle. It's about, you know, if you're a player to a husband, you know, your work life. You are looked on as not just this player unilaterally. You're looked on as this man now that is a husband, that is a leader of this family. I'm looking at his family life and all that. So, yes, you have to have communication, devotion, and the relationship. Work hard to work the relationship and the devotion. I can understand you being a player, and it's hard to get grips on it and settle down. And like I'm used to being with a lot of women, but now I have to focus in and give all my attention to just my wife and everything. But work at it, it can be done, because she will be understandable to it, because she know what you used to be. She's gonna have to be understandable to it. She know what you used to be until now, what you're trying to mold yourself into being or have to be. And I believe she will work with you. The considerations, individual differences. Each journey is truly unique. Process can flip and vary greatly. Well, yeah, it is unique. And, you know, it might not work. It might not work. Because sometimes a player can try to single it down to one woman, but he just got player in him. Just like a promiscuous woman can try to just single it down to one man, but she likes being the attention of a lot of men. You know what I'm saying? That strokes her ego, you know. And women have ego too, just like men. You know, that strokes her ego. She loves the attention of just not one man, but different men, because that's what she likes. It might not work. She tried it, you know. Give him A for effort. Play her to the husband. He tried it, but he liked different women. You know, he might like different nationalities of women. Sometimes a woman just can't be a one-man woman, just like sometimes a man can't be a one-woman man. So it gets down like that. Acceptance and support. Let me repeat that again. Acceptance and support. Getting a thumbs up from the partners and others in the relationships. Also from family members of the transformations. Giving encouragement and comfort. Well, I think they would applaud y'all because they don't know where you used to be and where you have went. They know you have let go the old you and you trying to better yourself into the new you because they're seeing too you're tired of being all wide open out there. You probably getting a little older and now you want to single down and have a family and a legacy to leave because, again, let's keep it a buck. A promiscuous woman, if she keep that up, it's cool, but she can't really leave nothing with all these different men. You can't build a legacy like that. And the legacy you build with that, that's not a legacy that you can be really, proud of or want somebody to know you about. Just like a player to a husband. I know men want to look at it as a player, but even I have seen players say, sooner or later, man, I want to settle down with one person. I'm tired of dibbling and dabbling or dipping in and dipping out with all these women. I don't have no substance, nothing concrete, because you won't have nothing concrete when you're being a player. You want something when you're a husband. You have a family. You have a lineage. You have something you can build on. Your wife you and your wife has been together for a while. You change, you stay committed, the devotion. Relationships, they're hard they're hard. It takes hard work to make them go and progress, but still you was able to make that change. So, it's going to be a little hard work. It's not going to be all peaches and cream, but, it'll be all good because I know one thing, again, a promiscuous woman a lot of times can end up lonely. And a player can end up lonely too. And nobody, no matter how they get down, no matter how they conduct themselves on a relationship tip or whatever, really doesn't want to be alone. They don't. People will, but they really don't want to be alone. So, the change is imminent. Professional guidance. Therapy, as is often the answer to a lot of things when dealing with relationships, can be very helpful. Also guiding difficult emotional and behavioral problems or situations that pop up during transition. Well, yeah, you're going to take a little guidance to that. Also, talk it over between you and your partner. But again, you have had an abrupt change in your everyday 365 days a year in your past. You have went from really just wilding out, just out there a free bird, just doing what you want to do. Just, I take it as it comes to me, to now I have things to answer to. Now I got to think before I react. It's just not about me. Because it's, again, being promiscuous is selfish. It's self-centered. Just like being a player. It's about yourself. Because you don't have no one to really answer to. Because you're doing your thing, and then you out of there. And then it's back to yourself. But when you're now went like a promiscuous woman and went to a wife, and the player and turned to the husband, it's just not about you. It's about your family. It's about the gathering. You have more than just one head to think about. I'm talking about your head. You have a few heads to think about. Matter of fact, when it comes to the man, a lot of times, you probably have to put your family before you. You have to be the last of who thought of. You got to make sure the wife is straight, the kids is straight, the bills is straight, the finances is straight, your social life is straight, your work life is straight. And to the woman, also, you're not straight up first, because even though you might be before your husband, you still have to put your kids before you. So again, it's a big change, and you need therapy for that because you're not used to that. This is something new. You're all where the promiscuous woman turns into a wife and the player turns into a husband. It is all a work in progress. And so the great thing about it is you two together right there can work together, and the progress or the process can begin, and it can end up a beautiful thing. Transformations. Promiscuous woman turned into a housewife. A player turned into a husband. 2 pennies, 2 cents. This is my podcast. I'm Nino. Thank you.